Aston Martin is following in Porsche's footsteps. Here's what to expect. Hey everyone, welcome to the Radar Report. I'm your host Travis, bringing you the latest in enthusiast news. Aston Martin has stated that they plan on keeping the V12 engine and manual transmission, at least until the end of the decade. This is big news to us enthusiasts. While many automakers are shying away from the bigger engines due to tightening emissions, it's refreshing to see certain manufacturers staying true to their brand. Aston has been on a roll lately, with the refresh of the Vantage for 2025 looking absolutely gorgeous. They also managed to squeeze out an additional 150 horsepower from its 4-liter twin-turbo V8, bumping the power up to a healthy 656 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. The DBS is also getting replaced with the new model Vanquish that will come equipped with a twin-turbo V12. The engine will be good for a staggering 812 horsepower and 737 pound-feet of torque. That's a most welcome change from their original plan to develop a V6 to replace the current V8s. Don't get me wrong, my favorite car sports a V6, but this is not Aston Martin's identity. Big engines, beautiful bodies, and a stunning presence is what I believe the brand symbolizes. The emotion they can invoke is what makes them special, and keeping the recipe unchanged is key. As for the manual transmissions, they are following Porsche's lead on this one. While they are offered on limited production models such as the Valiant and Valor, they have been missing from production cars since 2019. The plan? To return the option of obtaining a manual for more of their production vehicles. Because let's be real, if you own an Aston Martin, it is not the only vehicle in your garage. They are built for entertainment and enjoyment. What's more enjoyable than the sound of a V12? Roaring through the gears in that rolling art of a body. This is a win for the brand in my books. They have always created some of the most stunning vehicles I've ever laid my eyes upon. And don't even get me started on the Valkyrie. I've seen one in person, and it is unreal the amount of presence that thing radiates. Keep up the good work, Aston Martin. You're making the right moves. Christian von Koenigsegg is easily my favorite CEO. The founder of Koenigsegg, which in my opinion creates the best hypercars on earth, he is a true enthusiast that I can only aspire to be like. I remember the first time I saw the CC8S on Top Gear and the famous crash of the CCX. They were wild monsters that needed to be tamed, and that brought me tremendous joy to see such vehicles being created by a new company. Cut to today, and they are regarded as the most technologically advanced hypercars, doing things no one else has done. One of those things being this incredibly beautiful 4-seater hypercar called the Gemera, a luxurious 4-seater that comes with 2,300 horsepower. That is insanity, and that's just the beginning. The amount of new tech that has gone into the creation of this art is unbelievable. With 1,500 horsepower from a turbocharged 5-liter V8 and another 800 horsepower from a specially designed e-motor, this thing will fly past most other hypercars. Transferring all the power is a specially designed 9-speed transmission that has no reverse gear and changes faster than you can think. What makes Koenigsegg special is that they don't follow anyone. All the technology they have is what they themselves have created. Everything is done in-house, and I mean everything. They design and create the engines, transmissions, frames, body, electronics, even down to their own hardware. I believe the only thing they do not create are the shocks. It's this meticulous level of creation that puts them above all. They break records constantly and are the highest level of automobile you can aspire for. If you haven't checked them out, I highly advise you head over to their channel. The CEO himself explains all the tech in the videos in a way normal people can actually understand. I can listen to Christian all day long. I won't butcher any of the technology for you, as no one can explain it better than Christian himself. If it isn't evident by now, Ford has a real focus on off-road vehicles. The Raptor R has proven that Ford can make some badass trucks with its supercharged V8 pumping out 720 horsepower and 640 pound-feet of torque. Well, now Ford is saying they want to be the Porsche of off-road performance vehicles, which is quite an interesting statement. Imagine this, Ford mentions they are producing a new super vehicle, and we all think it's the next generation of GT. We go to one of the auto shows or Geneva, and they roll it out, and it's an off-road truck. A complete standalone supercar or super truck. It sounds wild to say, but that is exactly what they're after. And it's not so far-fetched to think it'll sell, as off-roading is a very popular sport that people put thousands of dollars into. The head honcho, Jim Farley, said they are in the middle of creating something, but they don't have all the answers yet. Well, what exactly is the answer? What dictates a supercar off-roader? A lot of power? A lot of off-roading capabilities? I mean, some of the trucks I see people build could easily classify as a super truck. What would Ford have to do differently to set them apart from a trophy truck? Are these not technically super trucks? The whole idea is very intriguing, but I'm not sure where they are going with it. You also have to wonder about the warranty for these vehicles. Are they going to guarantee you can land a 100-foot jump without blowing out your suspension? Or are they looking to compete more with the likes of the 911 Dakar or the Lamborghini Huracan Cerato? Whatever the case may be, they plan on building it from the ground up with its sole purpose as being an off-road vehicle, not a conversion of any model. So no, we won't get to see the Ford GT race 8 inches with massive off-road tires, sadly. I have to admit, I'm a bit skeptical about the idea, but open to see what they have in store for this super truck they are planning. If they do plan on doing this, is it going to compete with trophy trucks? If so, what price will they be looking at? So many questions that will have to wait to be answered. It's begun. Only a month into the new year, and we can see a drastic change in the automotive world, where manufacturers have been pushing for EV vehicles to become the mainstream and overshadow internal combustion engines. The data shows otherwise. Manufacturers are canceling EV models and cutting prices. What does that mean for the EV world? Now, I'm not a fan of EV vehicles, but I can appreciate what they offer. I drove a Mercedes EQS 580 for a weekend, and while it was incredibly boring to drive, the comfort, tech, and convenience is quite impressive. As a daily, they actually make a lot of sense. Now, I'm not saying to go out and buy one, because I haven't, and I have no plans to do so. As I previously stated, the infrastructure just isn't all there in the US, and that's only one problem they have to fix. The second is getting people on board with the electric cars. I can tell you right now, many people are not. The data shows it. According to Edmunds sales data of 2024, the total percentage of electric vehicle sales in the US is only 6.8%. That's like putting in a ton of effort to bake a pie for someone, and they only take less than a sample size to consume. To put that into perspective, 16 million vehicles were sold in the US, while 3.2 million of those vehicles were electrified. That's roughly 22% of the vehicle sales, and we're only talking about new vehicles. For the used car market, they make up about 1.6% overall. While that is a general increase year to year, it's nowhere near the numbers they've anticipated, and following this trajectory will take decades for EVs to rival ICE vehicles. Is banning ICE vehicles the right move and forcing consumers into EVs? No. You'll only see an increase in used car sales and a large decrease in new car sales. That sounds like a lose-lose situation to me. So what is the best move forward? I think manufacturers will have to pull back and evaluate how to proceed from here. While I can't say for sure, perhaps producing more hybrids is the answer for now. Jumping from full ICE to full electric is too much. I can get behind hybrids though, and they make sense. That's just my opinion though. What do you guys think? Leave your comment below and let's talk about it. That's all today for the Radar Report. Be sure to check out last week's video and subscribe to stay updated for the latest enthusiast news. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.